Moving on, there has been outrage over a Christmas card sold by Sainsburys because some say it is offensive to vegans. The card pictures chilly pigs who are excited by getting blankets. Sainsburys has apologised to one tweeter over the tone of the card. Well, joining me now is Dan Kidby, who's co-founder of Animal Rising. Dan, one tweeter has been responded to. Is this really that offensive to vegans? I mean, it's a bit of a joke, is it not?
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree with you. It's a bit silly, this framing of vegan outrage over a couple of people moaning on Twitter. What I think this represents is more broadly our broken relationship with animals and the natural world. This isn't about vegans, this is about pigs.
And I should say, actually, to people who haven't seen the card, who are listening on Talk Radio, the slogan, they're shivering pigs, and above the slogan, it says, "Don't worry, I hear we're getting some blankets." It's a Christmas card.
Yeah, and I think for me, my initial reaction when I saw this card was I was reminded of about 25 years ago, the Tamworth 2.
Yeah,
which
I remember the Tamworth 2.
Yeah. And the whole nation rallied round, being led by the Daily Mail, to get 2 pigs to be taken to sanctuary so they wouldn't have to be killed for food. And to me, that is really what displays our core values as a country. We're a nation of animal lovers. We recognise that these animals feel, they have families, they value their lives. And the people who can go out and rally to save animals like the Tamworth 2, like Bruce and Sundance, can also joke about animals who are in the slaughterhouse being killed.
Well, we've seen it recently with the sheep, with Fiona the sheep, for example, who was on the side of a mountain. I mean, ordinarily, she would have been slaughtered for her meat. Now she will be she's been rescued by a sort of petting zoo, petting farm, for example. We do divorce this in our head, don't we? We divorce the thought between an animal who is, you know, cuddly and cute and lovely, and actually what we eat on the plate. We don't think of the connection between those two. And these animals are slaughtered as humanely as they can be. I'm sure there's a lot of legislation around that. But actually, I mean, I love my cat, for example, but I also love meat. I love steak, I love bacon, sausages, whatever. And I don't like to think of cute little pigs when I'm tucking into a bacon sandwich. But I mean, is that just inevitable, do you think, in the way that meat eaters think in this way?
Well, I think it's how we all think. We've all been raised without having relationships with farmed animals, most of us. Occasionally, an individual cuts through, like Fiona, like Bruce and Sundance, and then we naturally connect to them and we recognise them as individuals who, have families, who love, who suffer. And we naturally reach out to them and we care for them.
Are you a vegetarian or a vegan, or how do you kind of manifest your Animal Rising kind of thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm a vegan.
Yeah, and I mean, when you see that Christmas card, which, as you say, it's just a bit of a joke, it's just a bit silly, are you offended by it?
Well, I think it would be silly to be offended by a Christmas card. I mean, I think that what's important to recognise is we have 70 billion land animals being killed for food every single year. That number's continuing to rise. Now you mentioned that we have legislation to protect animals going through the slaughter process, going through the farming industries. What we know, there's research been done, there's undercover investigations coming out every 5 minutes showing that it isn't worth the paper that it's written on. Animals are left rotting on the floor. They're in deplorable conditions. You wouldn't wish anybody to live in the conditions that your average farm animal would. And it really conflicts with each of our values as animal lovers. Because like I say, we are a nation of animal lovers. What vegans are saying isn't really that different to what ordinary people say when they connect to Fiona, when they connect to the Tamworth 2. It's the same thing. We just broaden it out beyond just the individual in question to all animals.
Okay, Dan Kidby, the co-founder of Animal Rising, thank you very much indeed for joining me today.